Okay, so I'm back with the next one, and like I said in the last video, the confirmation verses are going to be the same. So Romans 10:15, and how can they preach unless they were sent? As it is written, how beautiful are the feet of those who bring good news. Again, this is good news, not to put the spirit of fear. It's just to be prepared. God prepares us. He warns us. So don't be scared, just be ready. I kept being led to the word insight, which I got 2 Timothy 2:7, which says, reflect on what I am saying, for the Lord will give you insight to all of this. And the NLT version says, think about what I am saying. The Lord will help you understand all of these things. And then I went for a walk this morning and I saw all these roof signs, and which ultimately brought me to the verse Matthew 10:27, what I tell you in the dark, speak in the daylight, what is whispered in your ear, proclaim from the roofs. Again, today is March 30th. One thing I forgot in the last video where I talked about preparing or something, God kept bringing me to coffee. So if you drink coffee, and this goes with the other video, if you drink coffee, when we had power outages during the snow problem that we had in Texas, instant coffee was a lifesaver. So, add some instant coffee to your counter so that you can have it just in case. Okay, off topic of those, I'm going to get straight into this message. Now, if you watched my darkness video part 1, where I tell a dream about anointing your home with the spray bottle, right, that everybody helped me out when I couldn't think of the word decanter, okay? And then I talked about a spray bottle. But in that dream, I specifically told the man, I said, look, I don't care if you think I'm prophetic or you believe anything I say, but some sickness is coming. There's something coming, right? I said that in the dream. And I knew I was going to talk about this eventually, but it's now. I think I needed some more information on it before I talked about it. I needed information, so I didn't talk about it too early, which I'm glad that even though I thought I was running from it, God brought me something to help solidify this. I don't want to use the word theory, but this sickness thing, okay? I kept seeing the word air on my Febreze bottle. Just the word air just kept standing out to me. And then air filters, for your air conditionings. I saw some video where this guy had a little window AC unit, things like that. So just things about going on about the air. Even I tried to do a birthday party, and these 2 ladies randomly went to go check their calendars on their phone, and both of them had scheduled on the same day to change their air filters. What are the odds that these 2 people had the only thing they had scheduled that day on their little calendar was a reminder to change their air filters. So again, about the air. Then the day before yesterday, I was in Walmart and I heard the tune of a song that I don't really know the lyrics, but I knew it was Jungkook from his new album. And the song is called Closer to You. Now, I didn't go listen to that song when I went home, and I know this album he sings in English, not Korean. But I was like, I made a mental note to listen to the song, what's in here that you're trying to show me? So yesterday morning when I went for a walk, I was like, oh, let me pop in my earbuds and listen to this song. But after he sang a certain line, it stopped playing. And I wasn't really paying attention. So I was like, why is this not working? Blah, 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 blah. I restarted the app and all that stuff. But then I played it again and it stopped again in the same spot. So there's little dots that you can view the lyrics. And the lyric that he said that my iTunes or whatever would stop every time after he said something's in the air tonight. And then for weeks, maybe months, maybe a month, because it's been a while since I made that anoint your home video, I kept hearing the word mathematics. which didn't make any sense to me. And I was like, oh, you want me to focus more on mathematics for the kids? So it was just me trying to figure out what that was, and I kind of stopped trying to figure out what it was. Then I was cleaning my house one day, and I was, cleaning dust, moving things off the shelf that I keep this kid's school stuff on, and when I turned around, I didn't hear anything fall on the floor, but when I turned around, there was this little chip on the floor, and it looks like this. So that's like a vial with an X, which is like poison, right? And I went to go put this back in the box that it went with, that it goes to. It goes to a game that we play, that I bought at Aldi one time. This is the name of the game, Mathematics Lab. And all of the pictures in here are things that are being created in a lab, including that one with the X on it. So this X has been getting my attention for a while, and I'm not going to say too much about it, but what I am going to say is, if you have not heard of something called Disease X, I would suggest you go and you Google it. The World Health Organization has continuously said that we need to prepare for the next pandemic for Disease X, but everyone is like, what is Disease X? And their answer is, we don't know yet. We just know it's coming. So that's where that X fits in, and the mathematics and all that stuff. I think it's very cool because it just puts some of the thoughts in my head together. I also heard the word nefarious, which means wicked or criminal. I got Strong's Greek 2549, which means wickedness. And then in my last video, I talked about seeing 2 videos from Off the Grid with Doug and Stacy. And it was 2 videos on the same day. I don't know when they posted the videos, but they came up on my feed the same day, one after the other. And they had talked about, in this video, I'll link it, about being prepared for 2 weeks of food, like I mentioned in this last video, but also started talking about how with the National Guard was also being deployed with the National Guard was biohazard units for this eclipse. And he said something like, we've had an eclipse before, but I've never heard of them sending out biohazard crews with the National Guard. And when he posted that, 2 days later, something showed up where Newsweek had tried to come through and maybe debunk it or talk about these things, but it actually was confirmed that biohazard units were sent out, and they're going to give you their reasons why it was sent out. I'm just telling you what was brought to my attention. I also kept getting led to this book this morning. This is one of those books that I bought at there's a discount store called Ollie's, and they have a great Bible section, by the way. I bought this book. It's like a little, I don't know, 10 ways to delight in the closeness of God. I'm reading backwards. So I've never read it, but God was like, hey, open it. I even opened a different book because I was like, oh, there's nothing going to be in there because I'm not into that book. But, or I'm not into it yet. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to read it. I opened up and I landed on this page and I highlighted the words. The word, I see the phrase laboring to breathe, constricting her lungs, intensive care, breathing masks, and shallow gasp, as well as there's a word down here that grabbed my attention called, it says plagued. I will have a video going more on this plague thing. I've done a video on it once, but God's bringing me to do it again. So that video will be coming up. I kept noticing the word playground or seeing playgrounds, and I was like, why am I so why am I focused on these playgrounds so much? And my sister showed me a video of this guy with these dummy dolls of children, so children-sized dummies, and he went to these playgrounds And he was talking about how unsafe some of these playgrounds are, and the little doll would just go to a part of the, I don't know where the slide is, but one side is way open, and the kid, he just throws it down and he's like, see, it fell down. But as you watch this video, it seems to look like all these kid dummies and all of these kids falling down on the ground. And there was a video that I saw of a mom who was talking about using a thermometer, but then going back to her trusted thermometer to check the temperature just to make sure if their kid really has a fever or not. I kept getting led to other videos about kids having fevers or what they did when their kid have a fever. And then a song, oh, before I get to the song, there was another video that my sister showed me. Y'all, I laughed at first, but then when I realized it was not funny to laugh at, so I had to ask for forgiveness, because you don't know how many times you sin in a day when you laugh at something that probably should not have been laughed at. So in the video, this kid tries to squeeze between this giant bell and the wall. But for some reason, when he goes between, he hits his head on the wall, but also on the bell, and his head goes back and forth a couple times, and he comes out and he's crying, and he's having pain in his head, okay? And then I have the song, a song by Flo Rida that it says, "You spin my head." So if you have a fever, you have a headache, your head just is pounding in your head is what I'm getting. I'm getting led to it's going to be dangerous for kids, like for everybody, but really dangerous for kids and worse than COVID. I heard the word devastating. I sang the song Head, Shoulders, Knees, and Toes, but I didn't sing the whole song. It was just the part that says eyes and ears and mouth and nose, and then head, shoulders, knees, and toes. So I started at the part eyes, ears, mouth, nose, which is where germs go in quickly. And then there's a Korean song by Taeyang called Eyes, Nose, and Lips. And in that song, it says your eyes, your nose, your lips, your touch. And then there's a lyric that said it hurts so much. And then another lyric that says to the ends of your fingertip. That's like half the link. I mean the lyric, but I'll get into that in a minute. And then I heard a song in my head, Supersonic by JJ Fad. It's an old song, and it's talking about creating, which goes back to that lab created disease X is what I'm getting at. We all know COVID, everybody said it was lab created, and everybody was like, no, it's not, but it turned out it was. This is something else that God is leading to me as being lab created. In that song, it also says devastating twice. Pay attention is one of the lyrics, and then the word clean, and then says tell nosy people to stay the heck back. So kind of again with social distancing. And then back to the word clean and the lyric down to your fingertips. God has been leading me to soap, ridiculously, tons of soap. So, and the word wash, washing, power washing. I've been seeing power washing videos, but still it's washing. And then buy soap. I went to the laundromat once and I just kept seeing this sign that said buy soap. And then I keep seeing soap making videos, like people who make soap and sell it. So more soap making videos. Even my friend that I meet with on Tuesdays, she also used to make soap. And then I kept getting led to like bath or bubble bath, or that Mr. Bubble bath, and then slippers. Like for me, I'm Korean, it's normal for us to I'm half Korean. It's normal to take off your shoes that you wear outside and put on house slippers inside, because you're walking around outside and you're stepping on so much stuff everywhere. And then if you come in your house, you're just tracking all that stuff you stepped on in your house. So slippers, again, don't bring in that yuck from your bottom of your shoes in your house. And on top of that, I have kids who like to run barefoot. They never wear slippers. And out of nowhere, one of them was like, can I have some slippers? So they just reinforced what God was already telling me about slippers. And then I was getting led to Lysol sprays, disinfectant, antibiotic wipes, Microban, all those kinds of cleaning things for germs. So wash your hands down to your fingertips. Keep it clean. change your air filters. This is a stronger thing that's coming. And then a woman, I saw a YouTube reel of a woman who, she was saying, I thought this was normal. I thought that this was something that everybody did, like especially if you went to a doctor's appointment and you came home. Her standard practice is she comes home, she takes off her clothes that she wears out and throws those in the dirty clothes, or even does a little laundry to wash those clothes and changes into her house clothes. I also do the same thing. Like, I wear this in the house and in the car to do these videos, but like if I go to the store, I'm that mom who, when I put jeans on, my kids are like, where are you going? So like, I change my clothes when I leave, and when I come home I change back into sweatpants or joggers, just something in the house. I'm not trying to impress nobody at home. I'm trying to clean my house and do chores, and I don't need buttons on my pants for that right now. So that is it for the sickness thing that I talked about in that dream in the Anoint Your Home video. And again, regardless if you, what are the words? If you don't like the title of those videos when I talked about darkness or whatever, it's not about that. This video is about preparing for a sickness that God keeps leading me to. So I'll be back again. I've got some other videos, some that God led me to, just for some scripture to read on here, which those are always fun and easy. And then I have that plague thing that I talked about, so I have that coming. I mean, I just have so much on my plate right now. And yesterday I was going to do these yesterday, but man, God kept leading me to like, just rest, just relax, take a pause. And so I got to enjoy, I also kept getting things like in the morning, so I got to enjoy the day with my family yesterday, and I get to do some more of that today because we're celebrating a birthday, and hopefully we'll go out and have something to eat, whatever. But anyways, always find the light. Thanks guys. Bye.